We got the Bill of Exchange Act. Bills of Exchange Act. This is my printout. Printed this out off the internet. Already got it marked up for y'all. So, interpretation. In this act, unless the context otherwise requires, acceptance means an acceptance completed by delivery or notification. Action includes counterclaim and set off. Banker includes body of persons, whether incorporated or not, who carry on the business of banking. Bankrupt includes any person whose estate is vested and in a trustee or assignee under the law for the time being in force relating to bankruptcy. Bearer means the person in possession of a bill or note which is payable to bearer. Bill means bill of exchange, and note means promissory note. Delivery means transfer of possession, actual or constructive, from one person to another. Endorsement means an endorsement completed by delivery. Holder means the payee or endorsee of a bill or note who is in possession of it, or the bearer of a bill or note. Issue means the first delivery of a bill or note completed in form to a person who takes it as the holder or as a holder. Person includes a body of persons, whether incorporated or not. Value means valuable consideration. Written includes printed, and written includes print. Okay, we have part 2. Those are just the definitions to help you understand it better. Part 2, bills of exchange. Bills of exchange defined. Bills of exchange is an unconditional order in writing. Hold on, let me start over. A bill of exchange is an unconditional order in writing addressed by one person to another, signed by the person giving it, requiring the person to whom it is addressed to pay on demand or at a fixed or determinable future time in some certain in money or to the order of a specified person or to bearer. 2, an instrument which does not comply with these conditions or which orders any act to be done in addition to the payment of money is not a bill of exchange. 3, an order to pay out of a particular fund is not unconditional within the meaning of this section, but an unqualified order to pay coupled with an indication of a particular fund out of which the drawee is to reimburse himself or herself, or a particular account to be debited with the amount, or a statement of the transaction which gives to the bill is unconditional. A bill is not invalid by reason that it is not dated, that it does not specify the value given or any value has been given thereof, that it does not specify the place where it is drawn or the place where it is payable. Inland foreign bills. An inland bill is a bill which is, or on the face of it, purports to be both drawn and payable within East Africa or drawn within East Africa upon some person resident in East Africa. And any bill is a foreign bill. Any other bill is a foreign bill. So they talking about Africa. This is Uganda, but you could just replace East Africa with the United States. Unless the country appears to on the face of the bill, the holder may treat it as an inland bill. Effect where different parties to a bill are the same person. A bill may be drawn payable to or to the order of the drawer, or it may be drawn payable to the order of the drawee. I'm gonna read that again because I got to start by it. A bill may be drawn payable to or to the order of the drawer, or it may be drawn payable to the order of the drawee. Where in a bill drawer, the drawee are the same person. You could cash it out to yourself. Or where the drawee is a fictitious person, or a person not having capacity to contract. The holder may treat the instrument at his or her option, either as a bill of exchange or as a promissory note. Number 5, address to drawee. The drawee must be named or otherwise indicated in a bill with reasonable certainty. A bill may be addressed to 2 or more drawees, whether they are partners or not, but an order addressed to 2 drawees in the alternative or 2 or more drawees in succession is not a bill of exchange. Certainty required as to payee. Where a bill is not payable to bearer, the payee must name the otherwise or indicated in with reasonable certainty. I'll read that again. Where a bill is not payable to bearer, the payee must name or otherwise indicated in it with reasonable certainty. A bill may be payable to 2 or more payees jointly, or it may be payable to the alternative to 1 or 2, or 1 or some of several payees. A bill may also be payable to the holder of an office for the time being. Where a payee is fictitious or non-existent person, the bill may be treated as payable to bearer. What bills are negotiable? When a bill contains words prohibiting transfer or indicating intention that it should not be transferable, it is valid as between the parties thereto, but is not negotiable. A negotiable bill may be payable either to order or to bearer. A bill payable to bearer which is expressed to be so payable or on which the only or last endorsement is an endorsement in blank. A bill is payable to order which is expressed to be so payable or which is expressed to be payable to a particular person and does not contain words prohibiting transfer or indicating an intention that it should not be transferable. Where a bill, either originally or by endorsement, is expressed to be payable to the order of a specified person and not to him or her or his or her order, it is nevertheless payable to him or her or his or her order at his or her option. Sum payable. A sum payable by bill is a sum certain within the meaning of this act, although it is required to be paid with interest by stated installments with provision that upon default in payment of installments, the whole shall become due according to an indicated rate of exchange or according to the rate of exchange to be ascertained as directed by the bill. Where the sum payable is expressed in words and also in figures, and there is a discrepancy between the two, the sum denoted by the words is the amount payable. Where a bill is expressed to be payable with interest, unless the instrument otherwise provides, interest runs from the date of the bill, and if the bill is undated from the issue of the bill. Bill payable on demand. A bill is payable on demand, which is expressed to be payable on demand, or at sight, or on presentation, or in which no time for payment is expressed. Where a bill is accepted or endorsed when it is overdue, it shall, as regards to acceptor, whoso accepts, or any endorser whoso endorses it, be deemed a payable bill on demand. Where a bill is accepted or endorsed when it is overdue, it shall, as regards to the acceptor or so accepts, or any endorser who so endorses it, be deemed a bill payable on demand. Bill payable at a future time. A bill is payable at a determinable future time within the meaning of this act, which is expressed to be payable. At a fixed period after date or site, on or at a fixed period after the occurrence of a specified event which is certain to happen through the time of happening may be uncertain. An instrument expressed to be payable on contingency is not a bill, and the happening of the event does not cure the defect. Okay, omission of date in bill, payable after date, where a bill is expressed to be payable at a fixed period after date is issued undated, or where the acceptance of a bill payable at a fixed period after sight is undated, any holder may insert in the bill the true date of issue or acceptance, and the bill shall be payable accordingly. But where holder in good faith and by mistake inserts wrong date, and in every case where wrong date is inserted, if the bill subsequently comes into the hand of a holder in due course, the bill shall not be avoided thereby, but shall be operated and be payable as if the date so inserted had been the true date. Excuse me. Antedating and postdating, where a bill or an acceptance or an endorsement on a bill is dated, the date shall, unless the contrary is proved, be deemed to be the true date of the drawing, acceptance, or endorsement. A bill is not invalid by reason only that it is antedated or postdated, or that it bears a date on Sunday. Computation of time of payment, where a bill is not payable on demand, the date on which it falls due is determined as follows. 3 days, called days of grace, are in every case where a bill itself does not otherwise provide added to the time of payment as fixed by the bill, and the bill is due and payable on the last day of grace. But when the last day of grace falls on Sunday, Christmas, or Good Friday, the bill is, except in the case hereafter provided for, due, payable on the preceding business day. Preceding business day. Payable on the preceding business day. When the last day of grace is a public holiday other than Christmas, Good Friday, or when the last day of grace is Sunday, the second day of grace is a public holiday, the bill is due and payable on the succeeding business day. Where a bill is payable at a fixed period after date, after sight, after the happening of the specified event, the time of payment is determined by excluding the day from which the time is to begin to run and including the day of payment. Where a bill is payable at a fixed period after sight, the time begins to run from the date of the acceptance. If the bill be accepted, and from the date of noting the protest, the bill be noted or protested for non-acceptance or for non-delivery. The term month in a bill means calendar month. Case of need. The drawer of a bill and any endorser may insert it the name of the person to whom the holder may resort in case of need, that is to say, in case the bill is dishonored by non-acceptance and non-payment. Such person is called the referee in the case of need. It is in the option of the holder to resort to the referee in case of need or not, as he thinks or she may think fit. So the referee is in the case of need. Referee in case of need. He's needed on the case. The referee is needed on the case. Optional stipulations by drawer or endorsers. The drawer of a bill and any endorser may insert the bill and express stipulation. Negativing or limiting his or her own liability to the holder. Waiving as regards himself or herself some or all of the holder's duties. Definitions and requisites of acceptance. The acceptance of a bill is the signification by the drawee of his or her assent to the order of the drawer. An acceptance is invalid unless it complies with the following conditions. It must be written on the bill and be signed. The drawee, the mere signature of the drawee without additional words is sufficient. It must not express that the drawee will perform his or her promise by any other means than the payment of money. Time for acceptance. The bill may be accepted before it has been signed by the drawer or while otherwise incomplete, when it is overdue, or after it has been dishonored by a previous refusal to accept or non-payment. When a bill payable after sight is dishonored by non-acceptance and the drawee subsequently accepted, the holders, in the absence of any different agreement, is entitled to have the bill accepted as of the date of the first presentment to the drawee for acceptance. General and qualified acceptance. An acceptance is either general or qualified. A general acceptance assents without qualification to the order of the drawer. The qualified acceptance in express terms varies the effect of the bill and as drawn, and in particular, an acceptance is qualified which is conditional, that is to say, which makes payment by the acceptor dependent on the fulfillment of the conditions stated in it. Partial, that is to say, an acceptance to pay part only of the amount for which the bill is drawn. Local, that is to say, an acceptance to pay only at a particular specified place, but an acceptance to pay a particular place is a general acceptance unless it expressly states that the bill is to be paid there only and not elsewhere. Qualified as to time. The acceptance of some, one, or more of the drawees, but not all of all. Inchoate instruments, where a simple signature on a blank stamp paper is delivered by the signer in order that it may be converted to a bill. It operates as prima facie authority to fill it up as a complete bill for any amount the stamp will cover, using the signature for that of the drawer or the acceptor or an endorser. In like manner, when a bill is wanting any material particular, the person in possession of it has prima facie authority to fill up the omission in any way he or she thinks fit, in order that any such instrument, when completed, may be enforceable against any person who became a party to it prior to its completion. It must be filled up within reasonable time and strictly in accordance with the authority given. Reasonable time for this purpose is a question of fact, but if any such instrument after completion is negotiated to a holder in due course, it shall be valid and effectual for all purpose in his or her hands, and he or she may enforce it as if it had been filled up with reasonable time and strictly in accordance with the authority given. Delivery. Every contract on a bill, whether it's the drawers, the acceptors, or an endorser, is incomplete and revocable until delivery of the instrument in order to give effect to it, except that where an acceptance is written on a bill and the drawee gives notice to or according to the directions of the person entitled to the bill that he or she has accepted it, the acceptance then becomes complete and irrevocable. As between immediate parties, and as regard to remote party other than the holder in due course, the delivery, in order to be effectual, must be made either by under the authority of the party drawing, accepting, or endorsing, may be shown to have been conditional for a special purpose only and not for the purpose of transferring the property in the bill. But if the bill in the hands of the holder in due course, but if the bill is in the hands of a holder in due course, a valid delivery of the bill by all parties prior to him or her, so as to make them liable to him or her, conclusively presumed, where a bill is no longer possessed in the possession of a party who has signed it as drawer, acceptor, endorser, a valid unconditional delivery by him or her is presumed until the contrary is proved. Capacity and authority of parties. Capacity of parties. Capacity to incur liability as a party to a bill is coextensive with capacity to contract. But nothing in this section shall enable a corporation to make itself liable as drawer, acceptor, or endorser of a bill unless it is competent to do so. To do under the law for the time being related to corporation, where a bill is drawn or endorsed by an infant, minor, or corporation having no capacity or power to incur liability on the bill. The drawing or endorsement entitles the holder to receive payment of a bill and to enforce it against any other party thereto. Signature. Essential to liability. No person is liable as drawer, endorser, or acceptor of a bill who has not signed it as such, except that where a person signs a bill in a trade or assumed name, he or she is liable on a bill as if he or she had signed it in his or her own name. Assumed name is also a fictitious name, also a trade name. No person is liable as to drawer, endorser, or acceptor of a bill who has not signed it as such, except to where a person signs a bill in a trade or assumes that he or she is liable on a bill as if he or she had signed it in his or her own name. The signature of the name of a firm is equivalent to the signature by the person so signing of the names of all the persons liable as partner in that firm. Forged or unauthorized signature. Subject to this act, where a signature on a bill is forged or placed on a bill without the authority of the person whose signature it purports to be, the forged or unauthorized signature is wholly inoperative and no right to retain the bill or to give a discharge for it or to enforce payment of it against any party to it can be acquired through or under that signature unless the party against to whom it is sought to retain or enforce payment of a bill is precluded from setting up the forgery or want of authority, but nothing in this section shall affect the ratification of an unauthorized signature not amounting to a forgery. Procuration signatures. A signature by procuration operates as notice that the agent has but a limited authority to sign, and the principal is only bound by such signature if the agent is in so signing was acting within the actual limits of his or her authority. Person signing as agent or representative in capacity, where a person signs a bill as drawer, endorser, or acceptor, and adds words to his or her signature indicating that he or she signs for or on the behalf of a principal or in a representative character, he or she not personally liable thereon, but the mere addition to his or her signature of words describing his or her agent or as filling the representative characters does not exempt him or her from personal liability. In determining whether a signature on a bill is that of a principal or that of the agent by whose hand it is written, the construction most favorably to the validity of the instrument shall be adopted. The consideration for a bill. Value and holder for value. Valuable consideration. Value and holder for value. Valuable consideration for a bill may be constituted by any consideration sufficient to support a simple contract. An annotated debt or liability, such a debt or liability is deemed valuable consideration, whether the bill is payable on demand or payable at a future time. Where value has at any time been given for a bill, the holder is deemed to be the holder for value as regards the acceptor and all parties to a bill who became parties prior to that time. Where the holder of a bill has a lien on it, arising either from contract or by implication of the law, or he or she is deemed to be the holder for value to the extent of the sum for which he or she has a lien.